We are done with the skid plate install today. This is the next morning. We went out on Badland Trail, which is rated 6 out in Sand Hollow, and went on all the obstacles. We went last night and we were able to make all the obstacles, and then today there was one we couldn't make. But the skid plates are on and we're out trying to unbox the winch and the winch plate and see how that looks. That's our next little task here. And again, we haven't been able to put the wheels on yet, which is killing me because we don't have tires yet. And I gotta wait a week for tires. I should have ordered them ahead of time, but I didn't. So I will be back to work before I get the wheels on, so they're not gonna be on until the end of October. So 35s and wheels aren't coming until the end of October, so everything we're gonna be doing is gonna be on the 33s, on the stock wheels, tires. And magically, my box cutter showed up. So let's get these boxes open and see what we're getting into. Alright, so first things first. Our hook we're not going to use. That's going to be swapped out for a factor 55. And this is the remote control, looks like. That comes with waterproof little cover on it, which is pretty cool. Instructions, got some stickers. I am collecting stickers. Figure out what to do with those. We've got a hard wire for our remote, just in case the Wi-Fi signals and everything are interfering and it's not working right. And here's the winch. So we got the synthetic line. Oh, it does have a kill switch, so it has a battery kill switch. I was thinking I might have to buy one of those, but I'm not gonna have to. We also have our cables, power cable and ground, and all of our hardware, as well as the winch. So looks like everything we need basically right here. Let's see if I can lift this bad boy today. Okay, so there's the winch. Shouldn't be too bad. This I got from E-Trailer. It's the Bulldog winch mounting plate, which was basically the only one that was available that I could get right away, and also, ironically, the cheapest. So I don't know if you want to cheap out on a winch plate. I don't know. It's a piece of steel, so I feel like if it's made out of steel and it's a good gauge steel, hopefully you're okay. But I don't know. It's debatable. I read some reviews and it got good reviews. So I'm imagining if you had to put in a negative review on a winch plate, it would be pretty bad. Hardware and the plate itself. I looked at all online. These pretty much all look the same for the JL, and they all go on about the same way, so they bolt up. And that's that. I tried to see if there was compatibility with the Badland winch, and I didn't really get that. It looks to me so far like it's gonna be fine. So there you go. Should be pretty straightforward. We'll start that install. Should have that done today sometime. All right, so quick review of the trail damage from the fault line trail. We got some rubbing on this front bumper right here, where we did some scraping, and also I did. Also the skid plate underneath. So scraping here and on the skid plate, and then we scraped up the metal cloak skid plates pretty good. And they took quite a few hits, but they did really well. So if you can see, let's see if we can turn it like this, maybe. And you can kind of see the damage all along the bottom, but no dents. Those things held up sturdy. And we actually used this front skid plates, which I didn't realize that we would as much. Which is right there where the exhaust is. So if you can see where the exhaust is right there, it goes under the motor. We would have probably ran into something right there. But I wouldn't have had the confidence to try it if I didn't have these on there. So if anything, they give you a ton of confidence where you can try it out and not be afraid to come down a ledge or a drop off and run into something. So just for the confidence alone, it's worth it, I think. Alright, so it's basically these 4 bolts back here that you can't see because I don't have the light on. But there's 4 bolts that hold the bumper on. They're 18 millimeter. Underneath for the skid plate, there's 2 13 millimeters. And then we're just gonna take this cover off here. And then we gotta snap this plastic cover out too eventually when we get the bumper off. So we're just loosening the 4 bolts and getting ready to pull the bumper. Alright, so looks like we just take these bolts out over here that hold these brackets on, and then throw the winch plate up there, and these holes line up with where your bumper bolts go through. So that's going to sandwich too when we tighten the bumper bolts. And that's it. It looks like for the plate install. We'll get the winch on there and see how it fits. Hopefully we don't have to be derailed by anything unexpected. So, all right, so we also got we got the winch done. We got part of that installed, but I ran out of time on the clock. It's not difficult, but you definitely should read the instructions probably and take it a step at a time, test fit everything before you start bolting things up, because some things had to be bolted up and unbolted a few times. And then we wired it up with the kill switch up by the battery here, so that should be good. Other than that, we did put the factor 55 hook on the front so that the winch line could be all the way spooled in with nothing hanging out. No hook hanging out to your thing, so you don't have any exposed cable. So it's all nicely stored there. The other thing that we did have is this handle here interferes with the steel bumpers on the Rubicon. So I'm probably gonna have to get a grinder and grind that handle down so that it will turn into free spool. So right now I can't free spool, but this thing spools out pretty quick. So I mean, if I'm stuck, I'm probably not gonna be too concerned about having a free spool. So that might not be an issue, but it's not gonna be that hard just to get a grinding wheel and cut that off. It's just a aluminum or cast aluminum piece, so that shouldn't be that big of a deal. But overall, the Badland Harbor Freight Badland Apex 1200 so far, I mean, we've got it on there, it's working, and everything worked pretty good. The remote came with dead batteries, so we had to replace the batteries in the remote. Something you might want to take note of. Might have just been in my box, but if they've been sitting on the shelf for a while, maybe the batteries might be dead. Just seemed kind of odd. I mean, the winch is on, the skid plates are on. I wasn't able to get to the wheels and tires because I can't get tires, so I had to order tires, and I'm not going to be able to get those until I come back. So I'll be at work for a few weeks, and when I get back, I'll mount the wheels and tires on there. So we'll have beadlock wheels on 35s, and that's going to be all the modifications I'm going to do until I do a lift. So we'll go out on the trails in Sand Hollow and in Moab without a lift and see what we can do. All right, so we finished our winch install, and now we're going to pre-tension the cable. So you're supposed to pre-tension your cable before you run your winch. That way the winch has tension in it, and you're not pulling against a non-tensioned line. So we're going to set that up and do that. So we got to turn the switch on. Alright, Cubs, so if you're going to grab that, you're going to go all the way down to the truck.
How you doing? How you holding up?
Cheese.
How do you start it with the cheese thing, alright? Here, you want to pull it on? I don't think you can let go of it. I won't risk it. You're almost there. You're almost there, Kobe. That's what we're about to find out. If it can tow the truck. That's what those are for.
So now we're getting hook up. So what you want to do is you want to have a load. You want to pull the winch in under the road, so there's tension on the line when you're pulling it up. Back off until we got some tension in here. And then we're going to stay clear of the winch line because we don't want it to snap on us. And then there you go. And then we're just going to start spooling it in. Cool?
Yeah.
What do you think? Cool? Cool?
Yeah.
Cool?
Yeah.
Good.